135 global stock exchanges, 33 countries, all from one Indian account. That is India INX Global Access for you. Sounds like the perfect solution for global investing, right? But the reality of the platform is quite different from the marketing hype. I'm CA Vamika, and today I'm breaking down in detail whether you should invest internationally via India INX versus every other global investing route available to you. Here's what you'll know by the end of this video. First, how INX GA actually works. Second, comparing all global platforms on 4 key parameters: market access, regulatory comfort, charges, and platform maturity. And lastly, we look at the key takeaways so that you can decide which platform suits your investing needs. Before we dive in, a quick request. If the videos on this channel and my investing deep dives have given you clarity and confidence on investing, then do hit the subscribe button. Okay, let's start with how India INX GA actually works. India INX Global Access, I'll call it INX GA from here on, is an international investing platform operating from Gift City. Here's the key thing to understand. INX doesn't execute your trades directly. It acts as a bridge between you and international brokers. You can open your INX GA account seamlessly, and when you do, it actually connects you to international brokers like Interactive Brokers and ViewTrade IFSC at the backend. Here's the money flow. You transfer USD to ViewTrade IFSC in Gift City. ViewTrade IFSC transfers money to your assigned international brokers, such as ViewTrade International. INX GA lets you invest in real time as per the timings of the global exchange you wish to invest in. Okay, now let's separate the hype from the reality by comparing INX GA with other global investing options on 4 key parameters: market access, regulatory protection, charges, and platform maturity. First, on global market access. INX states that you can invest in stocks, ETFs, and bonds of 135 global stock markets, all from one account. But here's the catch. While INX GA technically offers you 135 plus global markets, the liquidity in the non-US markets is currently very low. So in practice, most investors are only using INX GA for US stocks, which defeats the main advantage. Let's look at the market access offered by other platforms. If you truly want global stock market access, Interactive Brokers offers the widest coverage. But INDmoney also offers only US stock market access right now. Second, let's look at the regulatory comfort offered by each of these platforms. INX GA states that your investments happen from India's Gift City, overseen by IFSC, which is an Indian regulator. But INX clearly states that the funds are directly held with the international brokers, and INX does not hold any funds or securities on behalf of the investor at any stage. That means your investments are actually outside IFSC oversight and within the purview of international regulators, depending on where your broker is registered. So your investments are secure, but by US laws and regulators, if the backend international broker is a US broker. When you invest via Interactive Brokers and INDmoney also, your investments are secured by US regulators such as SEC, which is like the SEBI of the US. And all your investments are secured by Securities Investor Protection Corporation to the extent of $500,000 in case the US broker goes bankrupt. So all 3 options ultimately put your money under US regulatory protection when investing in the US markets. The Gift City advantage of INX GA is more about account opening convenience than actual fund protection. But the most important reason why INX GA looks like an attractive platform is because of lower Forex and bank remittance charges compared to direct investing options. That brings us to the third and the most important point: charges across platforms. This is going to be extremely detailed, but it will give you complete clarity on which platform suits your global investing purpose. So let's dive in. Let's break it down with simple and bite-sized examples comparing INX charges with INDmoney and Interactive Brokers. Okay, in the entire flow of an international investment, there are 3 main charges you need to know about. First is bank remittance charges. This is charged when you convert money from INR to USD while transferring money to your back-end international broker. Second is brokerage of the platform or the international broker. And third is the Forex conversion charged by banks to convert your INR to USD. Example, if the current rate of $1 is 88 rupees and if the bank offers you $1 for 90 rupees, then 2 rupees per dollar is the bank Forex charge or bank Forex spread. This charge is often the biggest cost and has the most nuances. Let's tackle all three charges systematically. Let's look at bank remittance charges first. Usually, bank remittance charges are 500 to 1000 rupees. Let's look at all three platforms. INX GA has tied up with partner banks like INDmoney that charge as low as 200 rupees plus GST. But if you use non-partner banks such as ICICI or other banks, you will pay 750 plus GST. So with INX, your remittance cost is either 200 or 750 depending on which bank you use. Interactive Brokers only accepts wire transfer, so your remittance charge is quite high at around 1000 rupees plus GST. INDmoney has tied up with 4 partner banks which charge around 250 plus GST. You can look at the individual bank rates on the app. So INX has a slight edge if you use partner banks, but INDmoney is also competitive. So remittance charge isn't a game changer in favor of INX. Next, let's look at brokerage charges. INX GA platform charges 0.25% of the invested amount, but minimum is $1 as per the published pricing at the time of the recording of this video. Let me show you what this means at different investment levels. At 10,000 investment, you pay the base rate of $1, which is around 90 rupees. At 40,000 investment, you pay 100 rupees as 0.25% of the invested amount. Now, as your investment grows, so does your brokerage cost. At 1 lakh investment, you pay 0.25%, which is 250 rupees. And at 4 lakh investment, you pay 1000 rupees. Next, let's look at interactive brokerage charges. IBKR offers 2 rate cards, fixed and tiered. A new user would by default be part of the fixed plan, but you can opt for the tiered plan in settings because the tiered plan cost is lower. Interactive Brokers charges $1 as the minimum charge in the fixed plan, which is 90 rupees approximately. And it charges $0.35 in the tiered plan, which is around 32 rupees. So you can opt for the tiered plan to save costs. The key advantage with IBKR is that the cost stays the same whether you invest 10,000 or 1 lakh. It is a flat fee, not a percentage. Next, INDmoney charges 0.25% of the invested amount as the brokerage, but there is no minimum charge. Okay, let's compare brokerage at an investment of 1 lakh rupees. INX GA would charge 0.25%, which will come to 250 rupees. Interactive Broker would be a flat fee of 90 rupees, and INDmoney would also be 0.25%, which would be 250 rupees. So the winner is Interactive Brokers because the brokerage stays flat even as your investment amount increases. Small caveat, this is based on the current publicly available data on the recording date. It could change in the future or there could be more nuances, so always verify current rates before making your investment decision. Third charge is Forex spread. This is the most important charge but has a lot of nuances. This is where things get interesting and where INX GA can actually win, but only if you make certain specific decisions. Let me give you a concrete and clear example. Say you invest $1,000, which is roughly 90,000 rupees. With INX GA plus its partner bank INDmoney, Forex charges 0.6 rupees per dollar. So the Forex cost comes to 1,000 US dollars multiplied by the rate of 0.6, which will come to 600 rupees. With regular banks such as HDFC, ICICI, Axis, Forex charges 1.5 to 2 rupees per dollar. So the Forex cost is $1,000 multiplied by the rate of 2 rupees, which will come to around 2,000 rupees. That is a 3x difference based purely on which bank you choose. Now here's the catch. You get INX GA's low Forex rate only if you use specific partner banks. If you use ICICI or other major banks, you will pay the standard 1.5 to 2 rupees per US dollar, paying 3x more. One more hack is that you can use PSU banks that offer competitive Forex rates for transferring to INX GA to save on Forex costs. Public sector banks such as PNB and State Bank of India can offer relatively lower Forex conversion charges. compared to private banks such as HDFC or ICICI. Even for interactive brokers, you can remit via banks which charge lower Forex markup. But INDmoney has tied up with 4 partner banks and their Forex charges would be more or less fixed. So there's less flexibility to optimize this cost in case of INDmoney. Please note that the Forex rates change constantly and bank partnerships evolve. So always check your current rates and INX tie-ups before making your final investment decisions. Let me show you the complete picture with a real example to demonstrate how bank choice impacts total costs. Suppose you're investing 4 lakh rupees, which is $4,500 approximately. Option 1. Let's look at INX GA with a partner bank. Remittance charge is 200 rupees with the partner bank. Brokerage is 1000 rupees, which is 0.25% of the invested amount. Forex charges 0.6 rupees per dollar, which comes to 2700 rupees. So the total cost is 3900 for the INX GA option with partner banks. Let's look at the next option, which is Interactive Brokers with a bank that offers low Forex charges. Remittance would be around 1000 rupees. Brokerage is a flat fee of $1 in the fixed plan, which is around 90 rupees. Forex, let's assume 0.8 rupees per dollar, which will come to around 3600. Total would be 4690. But if you don't tie up with a partner bank for Interactive Brokers, let's look at what the charges would look like. Remittance would be around 1000 rupees. Brokerage is a flat rate of $1 in the fixed plan, which is 90 rupees again. Forex rate would be 1.5 rupees per dollar, which would come to around 6750. That would be 7840. You can see how dramatically the costs vary when the Forex rate offered by the banks differ. Lastly, let's look at option number 3, which is investing through INDmoney. Remittance cost would be around 250 rupees. Brokerage would be 0.25% of the invested amount, which would come to around 1000 rupees. Forex would be 1.5 rupees per US dollar, which would come to around 6750. So total would be 8000 rupees for investing through INDmoney. So INX GA is clearly the most cost effective option if you use it with partner banks. Interactive Brokers with a low cost bank is also close to INX GA in terms of charges. So our key takeaway is that the platform choice and the bank choice work together. The best platform for you also depends on which bank you will remit through. Don't choose a platform first and then find a bank. Check your bank rates first, then pick the platform that optimizes the bank remittance and Forex charges. If you don't want to remit through low cost banks or INX partners, INDmoney becomes the next best alternative, especially at lower investment amounts. Let me show you the same calculation for lower investment amount of 90,000 rupees or 1000 US dollars. As you can see, INDmoney would be the next best alternative if you don't want to remit through low cost banks or INX partner banks. Okay, so far we've discussed market access, regulatory comfort and charges in detail. The fourth and the last parameter to consider is platform maturity and ease of use. India INX is the newest option with evolving fee structures and changing partnerships. Currently, it's experiencing platform teething issues and low liquidity in non-US markets. While Interactive Brokers is the most mature platform with established processes and reliable execution worldwide. Lastly, INDmoney is relatively new but offers a seamless experience for US stocks. Okay, finally to summarize in 3 key points. First, on market access. For true global diversification across Europe, Japan, emerging markets, Interactive Brokers is currently the only viable option. INDmoney and INX GA are currently offering US stock market access. Second, bank Forex charges. Before choosing any platform, choose a bank that charges the lowest Forex charges for USD because this is the single biggest cost driver. Third, on charges. INX GA offers the lowest costs if you use partner banks. Interactive Brokers with a low cost bank is also close to INX in terms of charges. IBKR's flat brokerage per trade also makes it more competitive as your investment amounts grow. INDmoney works well for lower investment amounts when you are okay with decent costs and when you don't remit through a low-cost bank. Important note, this conclusion is based on the current scenario and data available. The conclusion can change as the Gift City investing landscape evolves and matures. So always check the latest details before making your investment decisions. In my view, if you're a long-term investor who wants to diversify globally beyond the US, keep an eye on INX GA. As Gift City matures and trading volumes increase, this could be the most convenient route for truly global investing from India, combining low costs with reliable execution. But right now, it's a budget option which is still finalizing its cost structure and partner tie-ups. So be prepared for evolving processes and potential friction. Here's my question for you. Are you currently using any of these platforms? What's been your experience with costs and liquidity? Drop your insights in the comments as it will help other investors make a decision for themselves. In this and the last video, we discussed the first and the second way to invest internationally through Gift City in detail. NSE IX and India INX Global Access. Do check out the last video on NSE IX Global Investing from Gift City if you haven't already. There's a third way to invest internationally through Gift City. Global mutual funds launched by Indian AMCs with dedicated fund managers right here in India. This could be the easiest option yet for those wanting global exposure without managing Forex transfer and picking individual stocks or ETFs. I'll break that down in the next video of the Gift City investing series. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss it. If this video simplified international investing for you, do share it with a fellow investor and do let me know if you have any questions in the comment box. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.